Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. I got an exciting mail call this morning. It's Sunday. I've never in my 10 years in Australia received a parcel on a Sunday, but this one came on a Sunday, so it must have meant something for me. It came in the biggest box. I'll pop a picture of the box with the item, which you're going to see in a minute, and I couldn't believe the size of the box. The shipping was reasonably expensive, and it would have been saved on a hell of a lot if I just used a little envelope or a little box. But just to give you guys a sneak preview or first viewing of it, I have test lathered it. It is this gorgeous brush here. Hopefully that's focusing. Envy Shave Pasteurs 2017. I think it was a meetup brush. There's only 15 of these brushes in the world, and I am the proud owner of one of them, and I'm just blown away by it. I really am. It's a stunningly gorgeous little brush, amazing shaped handle. I will say, test lathering it is a little bit odd to hold because I like to get a bit of a grip like that, and it's just, my hands are probably just a little bit too big. I have to sort of claw it to hold it like that, so I find I have to hold it more like that, but still very, very comfortable. You can sort of get your nails onto that little bit there. Beautiful looking brush. It's got the Envy Shave coin on the bottom, and it's got a black wolf knot in it. Now, I'm not sure what the knot is. It's not the Ultrafan black wolf. It's like a cross between the fan and the Ultrafan. But test lathering it, it's lathering up really, really nice. Just doing a hand lather with it, and I really now realise using a synthetic that I really prefer using them over natural hair. Just been so long since I've used one now, and smashed a little lather out with this on my hand, and it was absolutely phenomenal, the lather I got from it. Albeit it was black and blue because the colour was running out of the knot, so I'll probably do another couple of lathers with it after this shave, and then I'll be ready to go for the 1st of December because that will be my first brush I use after natural in November. So anyway, getting back to my shave, I'm going to be using Shave Revolution, and this one is called the Bourbon Room. This was sent to me as part of a giveaway that Gill did over on a Second Kinda Cool, and they no longer make this. Shave Revolution are no longer in business at all. Now, the scent on this, when I first smelled it, was just tea. I got a lot of green tea scent from it, and obviously reading the side of it after I smelled it, bourbon, oakwood, sweet tea and vanilla. It's a really nice, pleasant fragrance, quite refreshing. It does remind me very much of an iced tea. I don't get any bourbon from it, really. I don't think I do anyway. I've never really drank bourbon. In fact, I don't think I've ever drank bourbon. I only drink scotch. Used to only drink scotch. I don't drink alcohol anymore, but I don't get any smell of alcohol sort of thing from it. But it could possibly be in there, just all blended together beautifully to make that nice sweet, not lemon, but tea scented sort of, so really nice. So the brush I'm using today is the West Coast Shaving Tie-Dye. Now, the date today is the 26th of November, so I've only got, I think, 4 or 5 more days. Can't remember if there's 31 days in November, I never know. Of naturally November. This brush has really settled in lovely over the last little while of using it. Just a stunning, stunning brush, really is. The knot on it is superb. Really, really impressed. And for the cost, when you compare it with some of the high-end artisan brushes. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is an artisan turned brush. So straight into the soap. Now, this one looked like it had been used, if you've seen it on the camera there, because it has. That's what I've been using for my test lather with the Envy Shave, which is sort of strange. I don't know why I'm using a brush, a soap that's no longer used, it's no longer made, sorry, it's a discontinued soap. I should really be treasuring this. And I do like the scent of it, I really do. It's a nice, refreshing summer scent, I think. And I'm really looking forward to using it today. It's very hot today. Been out for a walk with the dogs. Took the kids down the park with the football, and our beagle is now 10. I think she probably ran for about 20 seconds, walked for about 10 minutes, took a shit and a piss, and then went back and sat at the van and wouldn't move. Old age catches up with us all eventually. I'll be getting there myself probably in the next 10-15 years. In fact, you know what, it might even be sooner than that. Right, this is a hell of a load, I think. I've never used a natural hair brush with this soap before. Wet the face. I was very happy to see Manchester United get a win yesterday, albeit I thought they played pretty poor. In fact, they played very poor. To say the strength of that team they had on there, they're really missing a left back. Luke Shaw, in my opinion, just give the kid a run. I don't really care if we get beat out, give him a run. Give him a few games and he'll give you something. That's my opinion anyway. He'll get better. Before his injury in sort of March or April, whenever it happened, he really started coming on his game and he was one of the better defenders. But for whatever reason, he just can't get back in the team, man. It's sad, really. But they got a 1-0 win from a very fluky goal. I thought Brighton Hove Albion were absolutely brilliant yesterday. I thought they were by far the better team. But at the end of the day, you don't win leagues by playing 90% of the game the best and losing. You win leagues by winning games, albeit horribly. 1-0 at Old Trafford's pretty average. Right, that's the load painted on. Let's do the tips now. Now, when I used this the last time, I had a great shave with it. It had great slickness. It made an awesome lather. But obviously using a synthetic. Paint some more in. And here we go. Beautiful scrub on this brush. Absolutely no scratches, scratch, nothing like that. It's just very comfortable. It's got lots of backbone for a silver tip at least. It is a densely packed silver tip, so it's not your average sort of floppy silver tip. It does have a good bit of backbone to it. Yeah, I've really overloaded this brush. That was a big dip of water that time. That'll help loosen it up a bit. I sort of laugh because I see people going nuts on Facebook at the moment because they've went no shave November or Movember, which I've done before, and it's just driving them nuts now that they've got this beard or moustache, and they're desperate to have a shave and shave it all off. That was one thing that I hated about Movember. It's actually quite, people think, oh, it's an easy thing to do. It's bloody not. Once you get to that sort of 15-20 days stage of growing the moustache, and it starts itching like mad, it literally drives you insane until the end of the month. The flow through there, you can see it's working beautifully. Just dip the tips again. I think that's it, that's the last dip. I think I'm pretty much spot on now. Can't wait to whip out the synthetics again, just to see. Now that I've used these solid for sort of 20 days, it'll be 25 days, because I don't think it started naturally November until the 5th of December, until the 5th of November, so the 25, 26 days I think, roughly. Look at that. Absolutely stunning, it really is. That lather, I do remember the lather last time being beautiful, and this is no exception, whether it's natural hair or not. That's lovely. It's probably just ever so slightly area, but it could be that I've just added too much water there, but it's still thick. It's not dissipating, which is the main thing. Right. Stephen, the Suffolk shaver, asked me, or said that he'd like to see a comparison between this razor, the MJ90, aluminium head, extremely mild titanium handle, and the Muhle R89, which is pretty much just a lovely chromed razor made with mixed alloys. It's not nothing flashed that but highly finished. Just found out recently that these are actually made by Edwin Jagger, I believe, for Muhle, so it's pretty much an Edwin Jagger DE89, but I find this shaves better. I don't know why, mentally I don't know, it just shaves better. So I know this is more efficient and slightly more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but it's obviously more aggressive than the MJ90 because it is more efficient, so if that makes sort of sense. So I'm just going to pop the blades in, 2 brand new blades. So I'll do the MJ90 first and just check the alignment. I've never had a problem with alignment on this razor, it just spot on every time. And likewise with the R89, I haven't had any issues either. Touch wood, it's just been great. I'm just looking at this lather on my face, it is actually dissipating a bit. I might just whip it up a little bit more. Let's see how the alignment goes, just popping the blade straight in, spot on. So the blade I'm using is the Persona Med Prep. So single wrapped, great little blades. I mean, the lather's lovely. It's just, I do feel it's just ever so slightly airy, even though looking at the brush itself, I can't really see many air bubbles in there. But I can feel it's a light, airy sort of, you can see, I don't know whether that's, you can see that dissipating. Strange, I don't think that happened when I did it with a synthetic. Right, so we'll go MJ90 on the right side of the face, let's go. With the brand new, Jesus, I can hardly feel that cutting anything, it's so mild. Well, I say mild, this blade, I love these blades, the Med Preps. I prefer them over the Lab Blue, even though they're the exact same blade. The Lab Blue is a coated version. I think more designed for wet shavers. Whereas this one isn't. This one is the uncoated version of the Lab Blue, or basically the basic version of the Lab Blue. But nonetheless, stunning shaver. I absolutely love it. Right, left hand side of the face, sticking with my right hand. I should really try my left, but I'm not going to when I'm doing a comparison shave because I'm used to using my right. With the Muhle R89, and straight away, I mean that's super smooth, but straight away I can feel it's more efficient. There's more weight in the head as well as a little bit more, feels like it's got a little bit more oomph on your skin. It's that little bit of an edge with the weight as well. But the blades, super smooth. Right, let me just put it on. Yeah, slickness, I remember the slickness being the same with this stuff, and it still is, even though it's a little bit airy. So after the first pass, it's a little bit there, but that's sort of right in the middle. I think I sort of missed it with both sides, but in terms of what I can feel on my face, they feel very similar both sides. I've only got a day's growth, so it never feels quite, they feel very similar. Surprising, I was expecting the MJ90 to be leaving a lot more here. Look at this, look, holy shit. I can't argue with how easy this lathers. I do think I put possibly a little bit too much water in, but hopefully I might be able to beat some of it out, beat it into submission with this lather here, my second lather. But no doubt about it, even though it is a little bit airy, it's still an amazing lather. And the performance on this soap is excellent. So even though it's dissipating a little bit, it's still got all the properties that you want from it. So MJ90 on the right side of the face. Now this is when the Muhle R89 may sort of overtake the MJ90. Although to be fair, this feels like it's just slicing through today. I don't know what's going on. I think I may have found a match made in heaven here. Between this blade and this razor. And I tell you what, it feels phenomenal on the R89 as well. So R89 I'll come from left to right this time, and then I'll go back out on my third pass from the lips to the ears. Yeah, I really like this blade. And yes, the lather is dissipating. I know I've said it several times, I can see it's dissipating, but the properties of the soap, the actual slickness of it, are protecting my skin exceptionally well. Right, let's have a bit of a feel. Just a little bit cleaner on the R89 side there, but not much. Tell you what, I'm glad I sort of did this now. I'm glad Stephen's asked this, because that's really surprised me, the MJ90, because I find it's probably the mildest razor I've ever used, other than the Rockwell on setting one, which is almost non-existent blade. You just don't feel nothing on it, or I don't anyway. Yeah, I can feel when you put it on your lips, you can feel the bubbles, almost like an Aero chocolate bar. Right, from out to in, or from in to out, should I say. So yeah, big thanks to Stephen for I never even thought about doing this sort of shave. Normally I do this part here, this way, because my hair grows in from here, and then I always turn it this way because my hair grows opposite where I'm going, this direction, so it grows towards that side. Hey, wow. I don't know what's going on between today and yesterday. I'm having these are two phenomenal shaves 2 days in a row. You can see the dissipation there, the soap's just bubbling away, but the slickness is there. Right. Yeah, the residual slickness on this soap's phenomenal. Right, I'm going to gauge it now based on both razors and how it feels, and then I'm going to touch up the whole face, probably with the MJ90, because that's probably my favourite out of the two, I think. Well, I have to say, I never get BBS, so I can't gauge it that way. But had someone else shave my face and I had a blindfold on, I would have said it'd been the same razor they used, because I can't feel a difference anyway. This feels like it's just the exact same coverage or hair reduction on my full face, and it feels great, it really does. Right, I'm going to lather up again. Dissipating like mad now. I just wonder if I dip the tips, just gather a little bit of soap from the soap, just as a test. I can see the difference already. I can feel it. I can feel it's a thicker, creamier lather just by touching the tips on the top of the soap. It's not something I ever do. I just thought I'd do it just as a bit of a test, but I can see that's not even really dissipating there. So MJ90 to finish off with the Persona Med Prep. That, ladies and gentlemen, was an outstanding shave with two outstanding little razors. It really was. Oh yeah, superb, what a shave. Right, Thea's lavender, as you can see there. Good splash of this. Nice little bit of burn there, which is nice. It's not an irritation burn, just I don't know. I do get it every now and then, depending on which hazel I use. Some of them react with my skin slightly differently, but it's a nice burn. Ran out of data, ran out of storage. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do that on my phone. Never ever run out of storage on my phone. Right, well, I was deleting some videos. I just rinsed the brush out. It's got a lovely smell of green tea, or a nice smell of a light sort of fruity tea. Stunning little brush. Okay, while that Thea's is drying in, the soap today was Shave Revolution, which looks like that, or the lid does anyway. The Bourbon Room, and it is, well, that's the same profile there, I hope you can see that. Lovely soap, it really is. It's got amazing properties, it's got lovely slickness. It lathers very easily. I think I just added too much water. And that's sort of my biggest downfall when I'm using a natural hairbrush. It's already got quite a bit of water in there, and I just keep adding it, not thinking that if you just swirl and work the lather a bit longer, it will grow on its own. But I'm probably just a bit impatient and I prefer synthetics. So the brush, as I've just showed you, was the West Coast Shaving tie-dye. Absolutely beautiful, 24mm densely packed silver tip knot, which looks superb. Really does. The razors, or as Stephen would say, the stars of the show, or the stars of the shave, are the R89 from Muhle and the MJ90 from RazoRock. Beautiful razors, quite similar to look at. Now, the MJ90 is pretty much, let me see if I can get that to focus. Is that not focusing? Come on, get your act together. The MJ90 is pretty much an upgraded version of the Edwin Jagger DE89 head, which this one is. So if you actually put them side by side, they're pretty much identical. And I don't know what they've done. There's a slight variation in it, very, very slight. One thing that I do love about this is there's no overhang on the sides. Nothing to cut your nose with or cut your ears with on this. Slightly wider head, so there's nothing like that, whereas you've got your overhang. Very slight overhang, but you can probably just see it poking its head out there. But a phenomenal shave from both. If I had to choose one, if you said, look, you can have an MJ90 or you can have an R89, what would I choose? I would probably go with the MJ90, based solely on the fact that I'm daily shaving at the moment. The R89, however, would be a better option if you were shaving every second or third day, because the MJ90 just doesn't have that oomph behind it, that little bit of an edge on it that cuts your hairs when they're a little bit longer, more efficiently, I suppose. It's a very mild, non-efficient razor, even though with that blade today it did exceptionally well and it kept up with the R89. If the hairs are a bit longer, it will struggle. I have tried it with longer hair and it does struggle a bit. And if you're a head shaver and you only had the option of these two, the R89 without a doubt, hands down, because the MJ90 just does nothing. It's like a butter knife on your head, just does nothing in terms of actually reducing the hair. Moving on to the Thayer's Lavender, which is lovely, absolutely beautiful, and I'm really enjoying this balm at the moment. I've been using it quite regular, and it's a very refreshing, beautiful scent. Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime, and it's just, the blend of scent in this is just phenomenal. 3 squirts of that, which looks like that. You probably don't even need 3 squirts, to be honest. But oh, that is a phenomenal scent. Lime, orange, lemon and mint. There's no menthol in it, but because of the mint concentration or however much mint is actually in there, the mint cools your skin beautifully. Almost gives that effect of when you put a bit of chewing gum in your mouth, you start chewing it, or a mint, you get that cool, refreshing sensation in your mouth. Similar on your face with the mint. It's just beautiful, and that's a stunning shave. Really, really enjoyed that. Hope you guys did as well. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I'm looking forward to watching Celtic in the League Cup tonight. I think it's Kilmarnock we've got away. And you guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.